Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. It is I, Jesse Milestone, coming to you on this Friday with both good news and bad news.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
Where people were just walking around, just jizzing force all over the place. He looks like he has been drinking soy from his mother's tea. Strap yourselves in, guys, because we are gonna get mean!
I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone. I am the God Empress, fearless leader of the Mindless Mob, and I gotta pee. I'll be right back. All right. I contemplated not coming back. There was actually a moment a couple days ago. I was on a stream and I went to the bathroom and I straight up forgot. I didn't take extra long. I just during the whole process of going to the bathroom, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come out and hang out with Jeff and this and that. And I can't start coming out. I'm like, oh, I'm on a stream right now. I should probably go back and care. What's up? Welcome everybody. Hello to the chat. Before I greet you guys, enjoy a special hello to anybody watching on the replay. You matter too. I want to make sure you feel acknowledged and like you're being talked to and spoken to. So this is for you, guy who didn't catch it. This is for you, Dr. Alex, who might be watching later because you had to go to bed now. This is for you, all my fine, fair feathered friends who are working, sleeping, or otherwise engaged, but are looking forward to catching up. Hello to you guys. And also special hello to those of you, the silent lurkers. Somebody put it to me this way, the silent majority recently, that brought to my attention too, that there are plenty of you guys out there that maybe don't have an account, you're on the fly or somewhere else or whatever it is. Commenting just ain't your style. Hello to you guys too. You matter, you're important, you're just as special to me. Michelle O'Rourke, and now for the people in the chat. Hi, Jess, my love. So my husband, who I'm using as a pillow snuggling, wants to know if you got his email that he sent you. Let me see. I was supposed to check. I don't see one. Make sure he used me.mindlessentertainment. Why won't it let me? I'm trying to check oh man, it was bad. Let's see if it got sent to... Nope. Yeah, I did not, Michelle. Let me, I'm going to make sure I put the email in here. Well, a lot of people forget they do just mindlessentertainment@gmail.com. It is me.mindlessentertainment@gmail.com. I feel really bad for whoever is Mindless Entertainment. I kind of want to email them and be like, yo, do you want to just give me your email address because everyone sends me your mail. How was your day, Jesse? Anthony Way, it was good. It was good so far. I'll tell you all about it in just a second, actually. Southern Cecilia says, lies, I'm not important, it don't matter. Well, I didn't say you matter. I said the people who don't comment. So you're commenting, so I didn't say shit about you. But you do matter to me, Southern Cecilia. It's good to see you. Damian Donaldson, greetings. Hail you. I'm eating a turkey sub and watching MacGyver. Alexander, I actually had a turkey sub for lunch too. So thank you, Anthony Way. I'm not even ready yet. I'm actually going to get ready in the beginning of the stream. So if you guys have any preferences, if you're like, make your eyeshadow blue or green or purple or sparkly, let me know. Let me know. I'll take it under advisement. Let's put it that way. So this, by the way, is the secret of the hair. The secret is there is no secret. I just have a couple different products I'll use. This is Surfer Hair Putty by Garnier Fructis. And I just put a very small amount, like a coating on my fingers, essentially, and run it through my long, fluffy locks. And then, ta-da, there it is. Done. It's my hair. It's my hairstyling. very involved. It's not even as involved as Steve Harrington's. If you're watching the Stranger Things, I'm still gonna go. I'm watching season 3 right now. Rene Caluccia. Keep in mind that we are one beautiful family on a non-rotating flat Earth. Be pure blood. Avoid the and okay. So that's nice that you feel that way. We don't tell other people what to think and feel on my channel, though. So you're allowed to have your opinions. The way that you're expressing them is fucked up. Don't tell people what to fucking think. I don't give a shit what you want to believe. I don't give a shit if you choose to ignore science. I don't give a shit if you choose to have those fucking opinions. You don't get to roll into anybody else's anywhere. Ever. Not in person, not on my fucking, certainly not in my fucking street. Not on the internet, not anywhere. You don't need to roll in with bullshit rhetoric like that. Well, let's just all agree. Oh, everyone, we can all agree we live together. If my opinions are the only opinions you accept. Your opinions are stupid because you think that everyone else needs to agree with you. And that's why your opinions suck. I don't even need to address what they are or offend anybody else who might, believe the same things you believe to know that your opinions suck because of the way you fucking present them. Go away. Hail Reese, what's up? How are you? What's up, Obi-Wan? 27883. Speaking of prominent flat Earth, I'm just kidding. Devin, what's up? He sent. Wow, he shouldn't. Surprises aren't surprises if they're not surprises. Anywho. Thank you, Alexander the Great. At least someone is dropping some real facts. The Earth is a fucking cube. Angelus, Draven, what up, what up? Got a real vampire in the house. I still haven't watched Obi-Wan. Good, it'll upset you, because, look, all right, drop a 1 in the chat if you've watched this week's episode. I'm assuming nobody's really concerned that much with spoilers. So I'm going to spoil it. We will start with non-spoilery discussions around the show because there's a lot to fucking say around this show before we get into the spoilers. And that's where we're gonna start. So if anyone's like, I ain't gonna spoil shit for you right away. I am gonna let you know. You guys see the poll that's going on? My 1-7. Oh, did I put it in the description? The link should be in the description. Actually, fuck, don't think it is. Hold on. Where did I remember to post the link? It is on Twitter if you're a Twitter user. Copy. Okay. There it is there. Let me just go make sure it's in the damn description. So much work. No, I don't. Okay. Whatever. There's the link. Keep spamming it. I don't watch Disney Star Wars. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. One of the reasons why I continue to watch it is because they've already ruined it. And so it's like I've already divorced myself from the like, oh, I can't believe you're doing this to Star Wars outrage. This isn't Star Wars anymore. This is like fan bullshit. This is lower class than the extended universe, It's less respectful to the canon. It's less respectful to the fans. And so that's the whole thing, we talk about respect. Well, you don't respect the fans. So, I don't really need to respect your narrative, which is that this is Star Wars and this is canon, this is whatever. Okay. For me, that's enough. Just like I've decanonized it in my head. I don't know. Maybe that's just my thing. Like I think a lot of the people that get so upset and need to like rail at Lucasfilm and are like won't be happy until Lucasfilm officially decanonizes the sequels. Like these are people who have a problem thinking for themselves and have a problem standing up for themselves. I've never really needed anyone to tell me what to think or believe. So if I don't really accept this as Star Wars, I don't really need the corporation that owns it to tell me that it is. I don't think that Kathleen Kennedy has any more creative ownership over Star Wars than I do. Sure, she's been far more involved in its creation. That's fine. I'm not discounting that. But she's never really been an instrumental piece in it. I don't think there's any significant Star Wars property that couldn't have gotten made without her. And so in terms of creative control over the actual universe, I mean, I just have just as much as saying she does. She's a worker, a person who knows George Lucas personally and may claim to have an idea of what he actually wants, although we know for a fact that she's, gone pointedly against that vision at the behest of Bob Iger and probably her own damn self. And so, I'm a fan. I'm a fan who's been invested in the storyline since I was a child and care very deeply about the universe. And so what I say Star Wars is matters just as much as what she says Star Wars is. So why does it matter? Why just because, Lucasfilm has the money and they say so, why does that fucking mean anything to us? Why is it this big outrage? Well, I need Kathleen Kennedy to apologize. I need Lucasfilm to do these things for me. I don't need them to do shit. So that's that. I don't need them to do anything for me. If I don't fucking want their shit, I don't need it. I think a lot of you guys have made that choice. I just ain't gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. That's no problem. I think it's a great choice to make. If you're not happy with it, if it doesn't do anything for you, don't fucking watch it. What does it do for me? It's barrel laughs. It really is. Honestly, it's been cathartic because Jeff and I sit down together as two OG Star Wars fans, and we kind of just we both have the moments together to just sort of stare aghast at each other. And it's like our own little performative moment together of basically cracking jokes at this fucking show's expense in a way that only he and I think that's why we haven't streamed our viewings and probably won't, I think it's a way that only he and I would appreciate. I think Jeff and I have a very similar perspective on Star Wars, which is cool. Oh my God, the ZZ Leprechaun. I love it. I think the flybys and booms were okay. I felt my rose rattle at times. Saw TG on IMAX. Wait, TG. Top Gun. People really love it. People are really into it. I still need to see it. That's one that I'm not running out to see, not because I don't really want to see it. I actually really, really do. It's high on my list. But it's it's one I already know is going to be good. Everything fucking says that it's great. It's amazing. Blah, 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 blah. It made $1 gajillion, so it ain't leaving the box office anytime soon. And I do want to rewatch the first one again to get the whole flow. It hasn't been that long since I've seen the first one, but it's been enough years that I'm okay, I want to get the beat for beat. I know all the important characters and the relationships and stuff, but I want to have every fucking name. I don't have the chick's name, in my head. I know it's the fucking dude's daughter, but I'm the little details. I like having those back in play before I go see the next one. So Top Gun getting sued, huh? I don't think it's leaving IMAX anytime soon, but I fully intend to. It's actually playing in a 40X theater near us too, which I might check out. Nice. Aw. All right. Has fencing lightsaber battles happened yet? Not on my channel, but they will. 40X is inferior, if you say so. I think it depends on the certain movies for things. You're probably right for Top Gun. Fuck you, I'll think of the great. So good night question. My husband tends to look at me crazy when I am on Amazon because I tend to go baby clothes crazy for I don't blame you for wanting to go nuts on the clothes. I also don't blame him for wanting to curtail that to a healthy amount. Jet Sparks says Top Gun's getting sued. Paramount sued over Top Gun Maverick copyright. Okay. Top Gun maker Paramount sued over copyright breach. Okay, interesting. The family of the author whose article inspired the 1986 movie Top Gun. What? So this is the family of the author whose article inspired the original movie. The family, not the author. The family of the author wants to fucking, oh my God, seeks unspecified damages, including some profits from the cruise of Top Gun Maverick, and to block the studio from distributing the movie or further sequels. Wow. Families stating that the studio failed to reacquire the rights to Ehud Yone's 1983 article, Top Guns. Sasha and Yuval Yone, heirs to Ehud Yone, claim they sent a notice to Paramount in January 2018 that they would reclaim the copyright in January 2020. According to a complaint filed, blah, 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 the Yones also alleged that Maverick did not finish for the production in 2019 prior to the transfer of copyright, but rather in May 2021. Initially slated. This is so douchey. This is so fucking douchey. Now, granted, look, Paramount's been sitting on these rights, and they were like, "Oh, can we get a sequel together with Tom Cruise before the rights run out?" Yes, we can. Great, let's go do it. That's what they're doing here. Cool. So they did that, and the fucking family. Once again, I always hate when it's the fucking family. Hey, Demagini, what's up? Is sitting there like, "Oh, we want to make money off of this." When it's like the movie studio clearly intended to finish the movie on time, to get it all out and blah, blah, blah. Did they finagle some data to say we finished shooting it in 2019 when they probably went back for reshoots and shit because of the pandemic? They probably had to do fucking reshoots because of the fucking pandemic. And I don't know, this just seems in bad taste. I'm like, I get it if Paramount had fucked around and like delayed and, purposely delayed and was just like, we messed up and now we don't want to pay you. That's fine. But I don't know, like, you're suing and you're trying to stop the movies from getting made and you're trying to stop them from getting distributed. Like, the only reason you ever intended to reacquire the rights was so you could sell it to another studio to make more money off of the fucking rights to it. Which is like, you don't deserve that. Once again, you're the children of this guy. Like, you're not entitled to continue to make money off of his intellectual property. Like, sure, you're entitled to whatever residuals were cut in from, however, whatever money your dad decided to fucking leave you. However he decided to phrase his legacy to set your asses up is what he gave you. You're not fucking entitled to his legacy. I hate that shit. Because it poisons the well both ways, and it ruins things both ways. Because people like this, who are just doing it out of selfishness and a desire to make a buck off of a property that isn't even really fucking theirs, make it harder for the artists who are getting screwed over to make their justified cases about why they are actually due their fucking intellectual rights, property rights. Hey, Marcos, what's up? How's it going? Phil, TMNT, what's up? What's up? Hi, everybody. Hi. Yeah. What were we discussing? Top Gun. The family of the authors. So, definitely check the theater though tonight. Maybe the last IMAX night before Thursday premieres. Yeah, but what's coming out that's gonna fight it? Right now, it had like the lowest weekend drop off of like any movie ever. So I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Purple. Oh, I have to watch the Black Adam trailer. I forgot to do that. Thank you, Phil. And I'm only half made up. Jesse, I watched the Reva Leia show last night. Anybody know when the Kenobi Vader show starts? I mean, at the rate they're going with Reva and and Leia, I don't want them. I don't want any more. And also what they've already done. So explain this to me. How can Darth Vader justify now saying Jurassic Jedi? That'll be me on Sunday. Is this the leprechaun I know and love by any chance? Because I had my suspicions when I saw the name. Any hoozle. Yeah. So yeah, the thing is, I just want to know how this line makes sense anymore. When last we met, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. Yeah, Jurassic Park comes out. Oh yeah, duh. That's what comes out. That's gonna arrive. I'm like, I should know this because I literally have tickets to it already. Sunday. I'm going to see it Sunday in IMAX. So I got that IMAX lined up. But by the way, when I was looking up like IMAX, blah blah blah, that also popped up as like, yeah, still gonna. You're right. You're right. You're right. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. That one I am rushing out to see, even though I think it's going to be trash and have known all along that it's going to be trash. Okay. I see the super chat, Russell Hall, and now that it's a super chat, I will address it. Let me just get a little symmetry on my face, since I'm assuming this is something that's going to end up. All right. So, okay. Let's do this because the heart pounding and sweaty palms aren't going to go away until I do. Okay. Russell Hall says, why aren't you and Anna streaming together anymore? Is it because she wouldn't do that thing with Gates McFadden? Because I totally get it. Well, obviously, Russell. Obviously, I just couldn't, continue streaming with anybody who wasn't down with licking Gates McFadden's pussy. Jurassic Park is dethroning Top Gun. Yeah, but it's going to be it's not going to be as good. That's the thing. That's why I don't know. I'm not convinced that it's going to remain. Well, unless deals have already been made and stuff. But I think Top Gun and Jurassic World are going to end up having to share IMAX screens for time because the critical score for Jurassic World is poo-poo. And so far, the critics are confirming what our friend told us 6 months ago, which is that basically this movie's trying to pack way too much, trying to be an homage and a reference to every fucking action thing that's come before it. And it's just too overblown on that front. They're trying to market it to every possible action audience with every homage, every reference, every this, every that. And it's just one of those, like, too much becomes like, because it's every scene, every moment, back to back to back to back. It's like when everything is a moment, nothing is anymore. So the specialness gets lost in the like constant beating you over the head with references and homages and things and stuff. So that's what I have heard from that was what our friend told us a while ago. He's our friend, not a source, so it wasn't mine to repeat. Hence, you guys will not. If you ever hear me speak with a like knowing authority on something, that's me having a source, guys. That's me having a source. A lot of these source things, I have a lot of friends who work in the industry. I have people, neighbors, even stuff like that. So, I know it's so frustrating, right? It's ridiculous. It's just absurd. I can't think of a good logical explanation for it. And so I'm not here to get anyone in trouble or get them to lose their jobs or shit like that. But we, I will tell you that what I'm hearing now is confirming what I've been hearing for a while about Jurassic World. But again, it's just this sort of attempt at like a super action greatest hits that just kind of like greatest hits sometimes do. It's just a whole lot of sound and fury signifying nothing, to use a famous quote. So Jesse the A-Team is on. Well, that's all the Jurassic World movies are trash. Unpopular opinion. The Jurassic World movies are not significantly better or worse than either The Lost World or 3. Now, I'm really sweet on The Lost World. I think The Lost World is the best of, well, I think Jurassic World is not that far off. Jurassic Park isn't a movie of its own. It is a category of its own, rather. It is its own special thing. It is a timeless classic, and very few movies ever made will ever be close to as good as it. So it's a little bit absurd and ridiculous to expect the sequels to hold a candle. However, Top Gun Maverick was still great on second viewing. There you go. Second viewings are important. Sometimes, especially, a movie like this, we can get lost in the feels of the nostalgia and the hype. You watch it a second time, you're still just as keen. Might be a little substance there to back it up. So gets a very encouraging sign. I like the first Jurassic World movie. The second one was kind of meh. Yeah, I think on the sliding scale. So that's my first thought. My first take is you can't discuss the Jurassic Park franchise as a whole. You have to remove the first one. The first one sits on a throne of its own. It sits in a special little vault with some of the greatest movies ever made. Take 2 through, what are we on? 5 now. Fallen Kingdom wasn't great. It's not worse than 3. Is it as bad as 3? They have their highs and their lows. They're different highs and lows. I put Fallen Kingdom 3 about on par. But I put Lost World and World also about on par. So that's where I'd like the Jurassic Park compendium list. That's why I like when people try to go, well, Jurassic Park is great, but Jurassic World fucking sucks. I'm like, hold on, though. I think we're being a little bit disingenuous to the franchise when we do that. Alan! And look, you may not love Admiral Holdo, but I do think Laura Dern is great in that role. I think she's a lot of fun. She's very natural. She and Sam, you know what's cool about she and Sam Neill? Think about this. For a movie of this size, and there's not a whole lot of kissing or whatever in it, but they are an acknowledged couple in that movie. They're talking about having kids together. There's a moment when fucking Dr. Ian Malcolm asks straight up if they're a thing, and Dr. Grant says yeah. So they're an acknowledged couple in this movie. God, they're the most regular fucking couple we've ever seen in Hollywood. That was a weird thing. I think that's why my brain could never accept that they were together when I was a kid, because I'm just like, who are these weird? They look like my parents. But that's one of the things that make it so special, and what makes us, what grounds us in it is these two regular scientists, these people that look like mom or dad. And I think that's also part of why that movie sparked a generation of kids who wanted to be paleontologists. Anybody can see themselves as Sam Neill or Laura Dern. These people are not, as far as Hollywood actresses go, they're not the top of the line for glitz and glam. So that's just another cool way that made the movies more accessible, not less. Hey, Shapancake, you stealing potato chips? Shapancake, I see you over there stealing chips. He's just got his head in the bag of chips and he's not even paying attention to me. So unusual. Again, though, fast forward into the rest of the franchise, and World has some great highs, some great homages to the original. This sounds like a fucking Backstreet Boys backing track. This is hilarious. This is my royalty-free music, so we can have some jams. But yeah, like I said, once I think you take stock of the rest of the franchise, what you find is Jurassic World has done a perfectly acceptable job of following suit. The stories have been bordering from derivative to meh. The characters have been fine. I know a lot of people wanted to get caught up in the SJW craze about 2 of the characters in Fallen World, but I don't agree with that at all. I can lay out my long analysis as to why those characters are just fine and perfect examples of the types of young people we would always see in those roles in movies. I feel so weird nothing young people as somebody who's like older than that. Or older than those characters are supposed to be anyway. I decorated so much. I know a lot of the stuff's for 1/7 Live. So tune in, guys, because there's some cool stuff happening over there, over yonder. So yeah, I love dinosaurs as a kid. Used to get the books that had the bones of the T-Rex. That once you got them all, you could form the T-Rex. Yes, dude, that shit's so cool. Like that used to be how childhood stuff was made for our generation. Like it helped us learn and get curious about the world, science, exploration. Now everything's like learn how to be a billionaire. The end. Learn how to sell your soul for $1 million as quick as fucking possible. Which room are you in with all that decoration? I'm gonna break the illusion for you. Check this out. I'm in the middle of my living room. I'm in the middle of my living room. I'm facing the front door right now. If you were to walk into the apartment, you would just be looking at me. So the way we set it up, because you haven't been here since we set up. Are you watching AEW later? No, I need to get access to, what is it, on TBS now or whatever it's on. I need to do it. Yeah, so we have the couch kind of pushed a little forwards in line with the kitchen island, or the kitchen counter that kind of juts out. And so this little section right behind it here that we had stored all our boxes in and stuff initially. Yeah, I need to be able to watch TBS Live. I gotta call Spectrum because we have like internet channels that we never use. But I gotta see if I can move them. Dinosaur coloring books. Yo, dude, I love dinosaur coloring books. And that's because the cool part is like the best part about dinosaur coloring books was that there were no rules. Even then, it was like, yeah, I mean, we only think we know what dinosaurs look like. Now they have even more, because of science, we have even better senses of what the pigments might have been like, which is badass. Yeah, no, okay, so I hadn't even hung the I didn't own the tapestry yet at Halloween. I don't even think I have my cars back here yet. Then I don't think I have this. Or I might have just, but I certainly hadn't hung anything, not the sheet or the tapestry or any of that. Yeah, because on Halloween, on Halloween, none of this was set up yet because this was all set up for the pictures. We had Michael Myers hanging back here, and we had Pennywise hanging back here for our photo wall. Yeah, so that's where that was. I hope only the JP characters contribute to the plot. Yeah, I do too. I think it looks like in this one that they're actually going to be brought in more than that. I feel like that was such a honey dick with the whole Jeff Goldblum in the last one. But I also think that's like that complaint was heard. That was a pretty universal complaint. I suspect we were heard on that one. I do think it's appropriate, seeing as they seem to be gearing for some kind of epic conclusion, or at least the end of this era, to bring back the original characters that have still been acknowledged as part of the universe. That's something I think Jurassic Park has done really well, and that's what's fun about the franchise, and what's cool about how you see it manifested, say, at Universal Studios itself. Unlike Star Wars, which sought to sort of repeal and replace the old ones with the new ones, the new Jurassic World doesn't take away from or decanonize or have any problems with anything from the originals. So it's not trying to retell anything except for the things that it thinks you need to know. It's not trying to erase or recanonize or contextualize anything. So it pays a great deal of respect to the original movies. And so when Universal went through and they re-upped the Jurassic Park ride to rebrand everything Jurassic World, they did it for a generation of kids who they think are going to recognize Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt over Sam Neill and Laura Dern, and, you know, have Indominus Rex toys and shit like that. But they also used it as an excuse to go, okay, well, the ride and the whole section at the park is now Jurassic World, which means we can totally justify adding a specific Jurassic Park section now to the studio tour and make it a bigger deal now. If you've been on the Universal Hollywood Studio Tour, they used to just have kind of an extension of the picture car section, the old trailer and stuff from The Lost World and a couple of the vehicles. They have now a ton of vehicles, all of the cages and stuff from The Lost World. They do a whole little bit now, but the dinosaurs got out. They have a whole silhouette of raptors in the thing. They moved the old dinosaurs from, it was behind the ride anyway. And now it's up front and center and you can see it. So, yeah, I think the Universal's cool. They still acknowledge, love, and 100% behind Jurassic Park. Yeah, they've rebranded the ride and the attractions around it, but you go into the gift shop and you can buy Jurassic World merchandise, but half the shit's Jurassic Park. Even though they branded it a Jurassic World thing, they still made a whole Mr. DNA line of shirts and shit. So I love that. Good evening, fellas. Good evening, Sick Marbell. Okay, I get up. Good evening. Good evening. That's what Top Gun does well. Introduces new characters, but doesn't shit on the old. And that's what's nice when you have the time pass, so that you're like, it's that marriage of like a reboot and a sequel at the same time. I think gives you that sort of freedom to do that. Yours truly, I do like Stranger Things. I'm not caught up though. I've actually never got around to season 3. I just didn't. Not due to lack of interest, just it never happened. So I'm doing that now so that I can watch season 4. I'm like 2-3 episodes into season 3 now. So yeah. Nancy sucks. In the Jurassic movies, I wish they would stop pretending that bombs, bullets, and just overwhelming power won't be enough to bring down dinosaurs. Right? Like, come on. There's nothing so special. There's nothing special about dinosaur skin unless you're one of the armored ones. Like, if it pierces an elephant's flesh, it's probably going through a fucking T-Rex. You know, we addressed this too in Jurassic Park. Like, we do address this in Jurassic Park. Fucking Roland Tembo in Jurassic World, actually specifically the big game hunter, demonstrates he survives the movie. That's, by the way, like, I don't know if you remember this. Roland is a fascinating character in Jurassic World. And this is why I won't let people just all out shit on the movie. There's a lot of depth to that. There's a lot of depth to the bad guys. Roland fucking Tembo is whose names I all remember because of this great card game I had as a kid, by the way. He is a big game hunter who gets brought along with the InGen to help them capture the animals, to be their sort of expert in predators, in large game and predator behavior, and to know what it fucking takes to bring down these big kahunas when they're raging with adrenaline. Because that's the thing, and that's what this movie gets right. It's not about the size of the animal. It's also about their predatory instincts, right? We know, or should know from the number of action movies that we watch, that when someone has enough adrenaline, whether artificially or naturally instigated, they can override pain. They can do things they wouldn't normally be able to do in those situations. So same thing, when you're hunting game, there's a difference between hunting, say, an antelope that's running away from you and hunting, say, a wild boar or a lion that's charging towards you and trying to fucking kill you in the same breath that you're trying to take it down. You need to understand how to stop its momentum in those situations because it might keep going afterwards. That's why hunting wild boar, by the way, is one of the most dangerous things to do because, you know, before the advent of modern guns, the way to hunt boar, because of how thick its skin and hides were, bullets at the time wouldn't pierce it when this technique was developing. You had to do a boar spear. You had to take a spear. You had to get the boar to charge at you. And at the last possible moment, you had to duck down and plant the spear into the ground so that you gore the boar through its neck at the sensitive spot where you could access vital organs and kill it in the same blow and hope that it ran out of momentum before it got to the end of the spear and shoved those tusks through your body. Why do I know this? Because there's a move in fencing called a boar spear where you get your opponent to charge at you and then you duck down and you stick your blade up and you hope your opponent runs the fuck into it. It's hilarious when it works. I taught this to my 11-year-old student who's tiny and she also hilarious trying to make it work. So that's anyway. I don't know why we're talking about boar spears and hunting. Oh yeah, because fucking Roland Tembo in The Lost World comes in with this great knowledge and surprise. Guess what? Unlike every other bad guy and all the other characters who come in with this superior attitude towards the animals, Roland, in spite of being the villain who's out to get the T-Rex for a trophy, fucking survives. And at the end of the day, has a moment of consciousness and goes home and says, I've been in the company of death for too long. Boar spears had wings to keep it from running up. Let's look these up. Thank you, Russell Hall. You're very historical. Boar spear. Let's see what a boar spear looks like. Yeah, so it has a nice little cross guard at the top. So the intention then so you got this nice little cross point at the top. So the intention there is that that nice little spiky point goes through the parts that make them die, and then sticks up hopefully into a brain, something that kills them quickly, and that the weight and momentum doesn't carry them past that cross guard and into you. So from my understanding, though, those were not 100%. There were also special swords with the same wings for boar hunting as well. The one cool fact I do know, well, one cool fact I know a lot of cool facts about swords. As you guys may or may not know, I'm a fencer. Swords are kind of a thing for me. Is the groove on a blade, in the center of a blade, is for draining the blood. For two reasons. One, obviously, once you puncture somebody, if you're trying to kill them, you want them to die. So if there's nowhere for the blood to go, you're effectively just sealing the wound in there, and then you would need to pull it out. But thus brings us to the other part of the runnel. When you puncture something that's otherwise airtight, you can risk creating a vacuum or a seal around it, and make it actually really difficult to move your blade in and out, or really difficult to release the blood and then kill the person you're trying to kill. So this little groove, it's a little concave on the blade there. So when you stab the person, there's somewhere for the blood and the air and the pressure to go. So that is, one, easy to remove your blade from them, and two, very easy to make them bleed out. Nope, not even close. Well, what were they for, Russell? What were the what are those swords called, so I can pull up an image of them, and for what were their use? A fuller is just to make the blade lighter. What are you talking about now? Let me see. Oh, are you talking about the runner and the blade? No, that's not accurate. That's not, because those have been a part of swords since those blades. Weight was not a consideration when let's put it this way, when swords were invented to look like that, the amount of extra effort and folding of steel that it would take to forge a blade like that wouldn't have been worth it just for weight. That's nowadays, and that's not even true, because like swords nowadays still have those, like a fencing saber has those nowadays, because they're also there for aerodynamicness. Absolutely, the shape of the blade makes 100% difference in the ease of sticking it through and pulling it out of a person, and that is 100% a consideration that was put into folding steel as a killing weapon. That's not why they're made now. That's not why they're done now, because people don't usually use, long swords and broadswords for killing people anymore. Guarantee you, at the time that these weapons were the prominent force of war, they were not sitting there going, "Yeah, we should totally take the extra time with these molds." And the way, because the thing is, when you fold steel to make these swords, not every sword is folded steel. Some of the shitty ones aren't necessarily going to have these, because they're just going to be in simpler. Maybe they will have them in simpler molds. But the process of folding steel means that any extra shape or thing that you put into it adds, like, I don't know the time commitment, but a lot of extra steps, because it's not just as simple as, oh, we made a new mold, pour it in. Do. All right, fuller is the groove cut into the blade. See, I don't know these words. I just know what they're for. Fullers nowadays, and fullers across blades. It depends on the type of blade you're talking about too, because it has every type of. It have a million and one different applications as well. Like nowadays, aerodynamicness, and then not close to 100% safe. Those swords are called hunting swords, and yes, fullers were only to bring down weight. Blood grooves are a nerd myth. I don't think that's true, Russell Hall. I don't think that is accurate. Let's see if we can find this out. Let's see. Oh, we're not talking about the same thing, though. Bladesmithing fullers are often used in pairs. A fuller is a flat, blah blah blah, causing it to move sideways. So they're not actually. So the thing is, fullers are sometimes inaccurately called blood grooves or blood gutters. Channeling blood is not the purpose of a fuller, but we're not talking about the same thing. You're talking about a fuller. A fuller is something that goes on the knife, a blade. Let's see, the first recorded use of the term to describe a river channel blade is 1967. The first recorded use in relation to metalworking is 1587. So this is already past the time that we're talking about swords that had blood grooves. So it's different things. You're talking about fullers, everything in this. This is bayonets, knives, etc. Sword, knife, bayonet, blah blah blah. Blacksmith using the blacksmithing tool for lightness. So yes, you are correct that a fuller has the intention of lightening a blade, but this is only applying as of the 1500s and whatever. This is past the point where we had long swords, broadswords, etc. that did have blood grooves in them. So, and those are shaped differently too. You can even see the way a fuller is carved into the blade. It's specifically designed not to infringe on the blade's usage whatsoever. A blood groove is down the center of the blade in different types of balanced blades. So I think these are just two different things. I also think that modern history probably doesn't want to acknowledge blood grooves anymore, for the same reason that we have to do things like censor the word gun and knife out of certain songs, which has happened because we're not a society that's allowed to acknowledge violence or histories of violence, or the fact that, things in our life and society have had violence as a part of them. What is your favorite sword from film or TV? I own it. It's the Princess Bride one. Actually, I should bring it out here at some point. But I do own a movie accurate replica that was sent to me by a listener actually, and it's amazing. So I do have the Indigo Montoya sword. Kenobi is a stake through the heart of the creative zombie, the modern Star Wars. Thank you, Russell Hall, though, for always being here to argue with me and tell me that I'm wrong. I do appreciate it. I don't know if you know this. I appreciate you, whether or not I agree with you, or whether or not you think I'm stupid or dumb, and whatever. I really don't care. It's not really, does not really matter to me. And slaughter my enemies for us. Yeah. Anyway, please, Russell, never stop telling me that I'm wrong about things that you think I'm wrong about, even if I think you're wrong about thinking that I'm wrong. Okay, Geek of the Week. So when you say Kenobi is a stake through the heart of the creative zombie that is modern Star Wars, are you saying that this is the thing that kills it completely, that makes it dead finally, and just like takes whatever little life and whatever and just stakes it to the ground for death? But that's not what that said. Wikipedia said it wasn't even used as a term in metalworking. It didn't even apply to metalworking until the 1500s. Sword. So here's one of those things, though, and this is what I want to know. Where did this myth come from? Where did the blood groove myth come from? And why is it mistaken? And where did it come mistaken? Because this is the thing with knowledge right now. All I'm seeing is, here's a fuller. Not a blood groove. People said it was a blood groove, but it's not. That's just the new narrative, though. Like, I don't see any evidence or whatnot. This is kind of like, this reminds me of, what am I thinking now? This reminds me of fucking something else that happened recently too. It's weirding me out though, because people like will change history and then just be like, yeah, but it's just never was, because oh, the pyramids. Yeah, well, the Jews didn't make the pyramids. We have evidence that the Egyptians did. The end. Okay. The Jews were Egyptians at the time though. Like they were just, and like, where's your evidence? Oh, we just think. Like, we just don't believe. Really? Okay, what I'm getting here is you don't want to believe that it happened because it's just easier to not talk about it and just pretend. It's just like one more reason to pretend that like the Jews are just full of shit and we don't actually deserve anything. So again, like, learned in books and did the things, but I didn't learn this from a D&D nerd. I learned this from somebody who had studied swords and didn't know about D&D because he was old as shit when he taught this to me. And he was a well-read scholar, and this was what he had learned. And I've read this before in texts about fencing blades and stuff like that. But now all of a sudden it's just wrong because we said so. New science. Well, yeah, new science also says that it's wrong to teach people that white people are just as good as other people, and you know that's a fact now. Like, I don't know. I have seen the receipts for the information that I possess, and so I need to see the receipts for the counter information to accept that it's true. I also live in a world where history keeps fucking changing on me, and I don't like it. What do you guys know about... Oh, shit, I gotta change the poll. Hold on. I gotta change the poll because we need more options. There's a poll up right now. Vote right now because the options are about to change. Let me go see what happens. So after this stream, in like 45 minutes, there's coming up over to 7 Live, which is way more fun than here. Link should be going in the chat. I will make sure that it is. If it's not, where you can follow me at m.e.godempress. It's mindless entertainment. God Empress. Yeah. And we'll keep the party going over here when it's done over there. So let me just see where this poll is at right now. Let me go check it because it's not showing me anywhere else. Shut up. As to me. Show me the poll. Where's the poll? Can I just not see it? Okay. No. Where's the poll? I don't know. 30 minutes so I can bother Mary. Well, good for you. Let's see if I can get it over here. Okay. Apparently I'm only allowed to see. There we go. There we go. All right. So last 2 minutes. Last minutes. It's from Game of Thrones. Nice, yours truly. Yeah. What do you guys know about the Mandela effect? Because I live in a fucking world where history keeps fucking changing. I'm getting fucking sick of it. John Madden died, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, John Madden died." And I was like, "Wait, I thought this was 6 months ago. I thought 6 months ago we all went through. Oh my god, I can't believe football legend John Madden just fucking died." There's all sorts of things like this in my life too, where I'm like, I went through this. I experienced this part of history. This happened. These are the facts. I looked at it. I have fucking somewhere the fucking screenshots of this, and then I carry on, and that's not anyone else's reality. So I just travel through dimensions fast. I'm no longer convinced of anything anymore. So you're probably 100% right, Russell Hall, because I'm no longer fucking convinced of anything historically anymore because it keeps fucking changing on me. And it like keeps changing because of the reinterpretations and that and blah, but also like it keeps changing on me personally. I don't understand, but it's fine because I can predict the future now too. So whatever. Don't be sorry, Geek of the Week. Be you. Okay, so last like minute to vote on this poll. Cool. So 17 Live, it's just a live stream that's happening after this on another platform. And I asked you guys what you wanted me to do today. Perform, create, or hang out. You want me to hang out? Awesome. Yeah! Don't get me started on the fucking Berenstein Bears, Gerald Vance. Because that's the one that really fucks me up. Because my experience is not everyone else's. Somebody in the chat, let me know what is it? Berenstein Bears, Bernstein, Berenstain, whatever the fuck it is to you. And what was it as a child? Has it been consistent your whole life or has it changed? Tell me now. All right, so we're going to end the poll. We're going to hang out, you said, on 17 Live. Hang out is what the chat wants. Okay, so new question. Where should we hang out? In my home? Somewhere else? All right. New question. You guys want a hangout stream, so we're hanging out. Where are we hanging out? In apartment? Somewhere else. I think it's because they did a commercial and the guy in the commercial mispronounced it. No. Now it goes deeper, guys. It goes deeper. Okay, Geek of the Week, you wrote the same thing twice. Bear and Stein, not Bear. Yeah, you wrote the same thing twice. Which one is it? Geek of the Week. Let's see what it is. Let's find what it is currently, by the way. And we'll circle back around to Kenobi. We'll spend the rest of the time on it. That's what she said. Okay. I fucking give up. I quit. I fucking quit. Quit. Okay. This is what it's. This is how it's. This is how it's spelled now. Okay. When I was a kid, this is how it was spelled. When I was a teenager, like 17, 18-ish, is when it changed the first time to this. Bernstein. And then it changed back to Berenstein, or whatever it was, and then it changed it changed back to Baron, but it became Berenstain. I've never heard of Bear or whatever. All right, that yellow spider guy. It's a children's book. The Berenstein Bear. The Berenstein Bears. The Berenstein Bears. And this is why the moldy Rosario verb. Exactly. So this is why, though. Berenstein, right? All the rest of you guys just went in the universe that went from Berenstein to Berenstain. I live in the universe that went from Berenstein to Bernstein, forgot the fuck about Bernstein, and made it Berenstain and started arguing Stain versus Steen. When 10 years before that, we were arguing Baron versus Bern. You always saw the books of the doctor's office, dead off in the 70s and 80s. So these books have been a fucking round. I really want to find a childhood copy to see if the universe I'm in has changed, or if the consciousness is I don't even understand. Berenstein is German for amber, so the Amber Bears. Bernstein is German for amber. And they were amber-colored bears. So now yours truly are giving me credence to the Bernstein theory that there was a Bernstein at some point, because it's logical. It makes sense. The Bernstein Bears, the Amber Bears, right? That makes sense. So that giving credence to the logic that fucking the childhood copies changed too. I know, that's what everyone's saying. So we moved dimensions, basically. We switched dimensions is what had to have happened to get us to here. Okay, elephant in the room. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Who's watching it? Once again, I've been asking who's watching. So also, guys, please vote in the poll, because we have a couple more. You guys get to decide. In my home, okay, so far overwhelmingly, we're not overwhelmingly, by a decent margin, you guys want me to hang out right here in the apartment, as opposed to outside, taking a walk, going to a store, crashing my car into a bridge. I don't know. Cool. Not watching, mostly not watching. Awesome. So you won't care if I fucking spoil it for you then. Well, one of the things that happened today was Reva was like, I let her get away and I put a tracking device on her ship or on them so that we'd know where they are. And Darth Vader was like, that's a great idea. I will save this idea for like 10 years from now to find the rebel base on Yavin. So, you thought the last episode was as in like the one that just came out? Like the one that just came out? I guess it's better than the last one. Last week's was terrible. This one today... Okay. I wrote a better Star Wars game than anything on Disney Plus. Yeah, you fucking do. Liver Cirrhosis. What's up? I hear the show sucks. It does. For two characters that have canonically never really met before, Obi-Wan and Leia are sure doing a lot of bonding, first of all. Okay. Why are you here, GLG? Question. Just put you on the spot for a second. I'm curious. Why are you here? Because your comment makes me think one thing, makes me believe one thing. But I'd like to hear it from you. Why are you here on this channel today, GLG? Why did you tune in to listen? Why? Why did you turn on my live stream? I'm just curious. Any other haters? Or any other haters or disparagers or people who like to talk shit, you know, generally. People who just would generally regard themselves as a person who doesn't like me but is here anyway. Feel free to join it. Your opinions as well. Why are you here? Please share with the class. You know, you wanted to pop up, you wanted to talk, you wanted your opinion to be heard, to be acknowledged. Well, here it is, GLG. It's opinion. Your opinion is heard. You didn't like it. Shocker. Okay. So there's a lot to unpack, really, from this moment alone right here. There's really a lot to unpack from this. But before I make any assumptions, I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear from you. Your immediate reaction to hearing me not actually pass any overarching judgment over the show, but simply talk about a couple of my issues with it. And this is your response. So that's my question. Why are you here? This is not a rhetorical question. This is not a douchey question. This is an honest dialogue I'm trying to start, GLG. And you're going to do us all a disservice if you run away like a bitch now. Why are you here? Why did you come to my channel to listen to me talk? I just want to know. It's an honest question, like an honest answer. And that's why I opened the floor. Any other haters out there? Anybody else listening who's like, I hate you, Jesse. I don't really like you, but I'm here fucking watching anyway. Feel free to chime in. Now is your moment. Now is your time. This is a dialogue. This isn't an attack. This isn't a trap. No, they just all left. Just 7 people were just like, fuck this, I'm out. 7 haters who all just ran the fuck away the second the spotlight was shown their direction. That's really funny. That's really funny to me. A lot of people don't like what I'm hearing. A lot of people do, though. A lot of people do. But the reason why I asked, the reason why I brought GLG, saw a link to it and clicked on it. Okay, so why did you immediately assume based on a couple things I said? So you don't know me. You don't know who I am. Is that what you're saying? This is your first time in here, GLJ? Is it your first time in one of my streams? Or do you have an impression of me already? Do you have an idea of who I am in a sense of me? Again, these are honest questions. I totally hate you, Jess. I love you too, Obi-Wan. I don't know you, but you already sound like every other member of the Fandom Menace. Well, bro, then you really don't know me. Then you really, really don't know me. The Fandom Menace fucking kicked me out last August because they don't like the fact that I speak my mind and don't go along with their narrative. Where have you been? The Fandom Menace literally looked me in the fucking face and said, get out of our party. You're a shit starter. Why am I a shit starter? Because I say the uncomfortable shit that they won't say, that they're too fucking chicken shit to say. Things like Doctor Strange is not woke at all. It's a great fucking movie. And y'all should go see it and throw some coin to Sam Raimi because he worked his ass off to wrestle that movie away from the direction that Kevin Feige and all the other assholes at Marvel are trying to take phase 4. And so you should give it the fucking respect it deserves and not listen to a bunch of Joker-ass clowns who every time they see a female character on the screen go, it must be woke because if I scream about wokeness, I can sell it to my audience. That's not what you're fucking getting here. That's not what you're getting here, GLG. And I'm not feeding the trolls. Sick Mars. I'm sorry, I can't read your name. I do my best. Sick Mars Belt. I'm sorry. These are dialogues. These are important dialogues. I didn't say that, GLG. Why are you getting defensive on that? The only people I attacked just now were my own. You said here about Disney. It's a joke, GLG. It's a joke. Gerald Vance is kidding. We're funny people here. We laugh and joke. We're not like whatever you're thinking of that all have giant sticks up our asses and don't have a sense of humor. I didn't do a Doctor Strange review that young. I talked about it on a couple lives. Yeah, honestly, GLG, if you actually knew the things we do, we actually have the receipts, the evidence to demonstrate that people from Disney have purposely come to spy on our shit, which is really funny to me. I don't care. I'm not here for that. That's not why I'm here. Look, and just like you're doing yourself a disservice, GLG, to roll in here to hear a couple things and go, well, you're just confirming what I already thought about you. Yeah. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You don't know my shit. You don't know my shit. You just admitted you don't know my stuff. You came in here with a judgment, and the second you heard something that you thought confirmed that judgment, you wanted to pipe up to let everyone know that confirmed my judgment. And put yourself in a box, by the way. Put yourself in a box of the type of person that immediately judged me prior to doing anything else. Guys, come on. Stop with the Disney show shit. He's not a Disney show. He's just a person who came in here, fired up and wanting to talk about shit just like we all do. It's not a problem. That's why I'm like, it's not a troll thing. It's not an issue. GLG has not said or done anything to lead me to believe that he's a troll or here with malintent as a shit starter. And I treat people like that. I give them a fair shake. Dissenters aren't trolls. People who disagree with me aren't by default trolls. They're just people. They're just other people with different opinions. And I don't want to be a channel that just because somebody comes on here who likes this show, they get called a shill or a troll or this and scared off. So I don't want that to happen. I don't. GLG, I hope you didn't go away. I hope you're still here. I'm just mad they keep messing with Star Wars canon to fit their hastily made agenda. Jiv and Dribble. Yes, agree 100%. Geek of the Week. 100%. That doesn't mean I can't watch this show and not give nods. Like, one of the moments this week that I loved, Jeff and I both took a moment to say how much we really actually enjoyed and appreciated this. Because it's a moment that actually elevates something that we don't see in the original series at all, and something that's even more kind of cool, callously glossed over in the sequels, which is that in Star Wars, historically, we only treat the characters that matter like they matter, and any other character, including all the Rebel fighters, are just expendable bodies. So when you actually see a Rebel fighter get shot down in a scene that is problematic for other reasons, like snow speeders, like these are snow speeders. I guess they're water speeders now too, or whatever. But they just come in screaming full speed, and I guess they're just impressive enough to get to a complete fucking halt right before they hit the doors, which is like, wow, that's tech the Rebels lost in the next 10 years. But then there's a moment where they're going away and it's going to happen. It's actually a well-written scene because they have this moment of hey, quit messing around. Come on, let's go, guy. But everything's super casual. This Rebel guy is going to be fine. But we know because of the way they're setting it up that, of course, he's not going to be. So he gets knocked out of the sky, just like a million other Rebel fighters before him that we've seen, in any Star Wars fight. But in this one, the chick who's clearly, his Maverick to his goose or whatever, is fucking broken up about it and comes back, and Ice Cube's son is broken up about it. And we have this nice little moment of humanizing the rebellion and going, these are people too. They matter. Their feelings matter. All this stuff matters. Now they do something. Now what they take away from, though, and this is where I don't appreciate it. You realize you get similar things about the OT. I did just say it about the original trilogy. I did specifically say that about the original trilogy. I did say that was a problem actually with the original trilogy. That not till now. This is the first time we have seen this, and so that means first time, yes, including Lucas's productions as well. So that's a problem, right? No, GLG. This is where you're looking at it all wrong. You're doing it the wrong way. You can't. Lucas created those movies. He created Star Wars. He's the inceptor of the universe. He says that rocks take down stormtroopers. He said that stormtrooper armor is whatever. It's shoddy basic infantry armor that is pretty easily defeated. And now all of a sudden we have a show that says, nope, it takes 2 strokes of a lightsaber to take down a stormtrooper? You could choose to look at it and say, well, that just ruins the original trilogy now because blah, blah, blah. And I would argue that is fundamentally an incorrect way to approach it unless you like being unhappy. Because, and it's again, I don't understand this perspective. I don't understand how you could watch this and see some things that a bunch of people, many of whom were born after Star Wars was even made in the first place, decided on these new rules and go, well, this clearly proves that Lucas was wrong when he made the Return of the Jedi. I don't understand that perspective. If you have that perspective, that's fine. I'm not saying it's wrong or you're not allowed to. I'm just saying I don't understand that. I really don't get how you could look at anything Disney is making and go, well, obviously Disney did this so much better, so fuck George Lucas. This just proves why his shit was all wrong. I don't nitpick them much of so with Space Wizards and Laser Swords. Okay, well, I do. So what's the problem with that? Why is it a problem that I like to do a deep analysis of these things? Why is it a problem that I think it's important that a show that chooses to buy up a legacy of another property be true to it? Because this actually runs parallel to some of the issues I have with the way they're already doing the treatment for the Rings of Power TV show, which is that you have these big expansive universes with tons of places to go, and you have a choice of where to go in that universe and what stories to tell. And these creators are consistently choosing to retell stories that have already been told. In some cases, retell stories that they have already accepted the canon of. The Force Unleashed covers the plot between 3 and 4. And that was sort of the canonical plot that tied those two things together. And now they're rehashing and retelling that storyline with, key differences. And it's like, why? They're telling a storyline that leads directly into the original trilogy, and they're pointedly doing things that dismantle the original trilogy. We have a line right there, a very important line. When we last met, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. And then we just saw last week Darth Vader beat Obi-Wan. So that line isn't correct anymore. That line no longer holds weight. It no longer holds value. It no longer holds sway. And I want to understand why. I don't know why. I don't understand at all why or what purpose this new show would have or could possibly have for undercutting and devaluing moments from its own canon. And I think it's the new IP owners just suiting their uber vanity. Well, that's what it feels like, D. Pensac, and that's why I don't like it. I don't think it is wrong, because again, there's no reason. Go to the Rings of Power for a second. It's not my interpretation, GLG. They are decanonizing elements of the trilogy. They are doing things that run counter to the information we've already been given. That's not an opinion or an interpretation, GLG. Literally saying the last time we met, I was but the learner, now I am the master, runs directly incongruous with watching him beat Obi-Wan. In what universe in that scene last week does Darth Vader still consider himself the learner? GLG, but first of all, what are the big contradictions in the original trilogy that you have such a problem with? And two, how is that a justification? Because it's one thing for a creator to create a world and not be 100% consistent with every part of it. Leia remembering her mother. Okay, that's not the original trilogy. That's the original trilogy. That's not a contradiction. That is information that's later contradicted in the prequels. Yes, George Lucas contradicts the original trilogy a lot in the prequels, but that's also another issue too. Obi-Wan, again, these are not original trilogy inconsistencies. These are inconsistencies that are created when the prequels are created. And I have some of the same problems when I discuss the prequels. I think that once again, you had the information, you had the diligence. Now, there's also a difference. What do you mean, Original trilogy, prequel trilogy are two different trilogies. Those inconsistencies are inconsistencies from the original trilogy to the prequels, not inconsistencies within the original trilogy. Just labels being thrown around to gaslight critics who criticize. Well, Marty, that's another thing we do really have to talk about, because it's an important part of the discussion surrounding this show. There's a very deep logical fallacy embedded in the show and in the discussion around it. Reva is not a good character because she has an objective that we know can't succeed. Her whole goal we know will not succeed. So she's not an interesting character to watch because she has no arc. She's going to fail at her mission. Her mission is to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi or bring him to Darth Vader so Darth Vader can do it. She's going to fail because Obi-Wan is alive in episode 4. So your whole main villain is a failure. And her whole characterization is based around confirming that she is in fact what everybody else says she is. The whole show so far, the High Inquisitor, you're this slime, you're this, you're too weak to do what needs to be done. You won't be able to do what needs to be done. The other Inquisitor says the same shit about her. You're too this, you're too whatever. You're too much of an upstart. You're too much of a blah. You're too much, and she is. And she's doing all those things exactly like they say, and we know it's not going to pan out for her. Because there's only two options when we get to the end of the show. Either she fails and Darth Vader kills her, or she can't go through with it and Darth Vader kills her. So, you could say the same thing about the whole series. Kenobi? No, because you can write a good story. Stakes aren't necessarily about whether a character lives or dies. But if you make the stakes in your scene about whether or not the character lives or dies, why did they even make the prequels if we knew it was going to happen? You're missing the point, GLG, or maybe you're not listening on purpose. I'm going to try one more time to explain this to you, and if you refute me with the exact same thing, I'm just going to, you are going to get categorized as a troll, GLG, because I don't know if you understood what's happened here. I've been incredibly magnanimous, right? You've come into my stream and demonstrated a very clear inability to listen to the points that I'm making, and you're actually just continuing to argue things that, one, don't even make sense because they're not directly responding to what I've said, or two, don't even make sense because they're not like, you're going backwards. You're going the wrong direction with the logic. And it's really rude, actually, that I'm taking all of this time to actually engage with somebody who disagrees with me, only to have them try to shut me down at every point that I'm making. I'm not asking you to agree, GLG, but you haven't even let me make my point. That's why I'm saying you're being rude. I'm making my point. I'm in the process of making my point. I don't know if you understand this. I'm on a live stream right now. I'm performing for an audience. So I'm not just going to stop and say, you wanted to hear it immediately. I have to do this in a certain fucking way so that the other people watching get some value out of this in addition to you. And you don't understand how much personal time and attention I am giving to your point of view when you are giving exactly zero to mine. What do you mean I'm trying to shut you down? GLG, no. You started this conversation shutting me down. I am trying to demonstrate to you why my point of view has merit as well. I have not said that yours has not at any point. I haven't disagreed with your perspective or the fact that you're allowed to have it. You are telling me that I am wrong. I am simply trying to explain to you why I am not wrong. Now, in me explaining why I am not wrong, that does not necessarily mean that you are wrong. Unfortunately, you, like everybody else, can't handle some disagree with your perspective. So you're getting defensive and assuming that just because I am saying something that's different than what you agree with, that I'm somehow telling you that you are wrong. And so you can't actually let me make my point or engage with my point because you're too busy being defensive at every turn. And every time I say something that you have a light bulb that you can refute, you refute it. That's not listening, GLG. That's just waiting to be right and trying to be right, which you're not going to be for two very simple reasons. One, I'm smarter than you. And two, this is my channel, so I have 100% of the power and can just choose to be right whether or not facts support me. So what you're doing is pointless. If you want to listen, try that. But if you want to just go, it's my turn to talk. No, it's my turn to talk. This is my fucking channel that I've spent years building so that I can have a platform. If you want a platform where you can speak unadulterated about whatever the fuck you want, then I encourage you to work as hard as I fucking did to build my fucking platform. Because guess what? It is not as easy as it looks to have this many people show up for you week after fucking week. But by all means, be my guest. Do it yourself. If you have so many opinions and so many things and you're so fucking right that you don't even need to listen to the other person before you can tell them exactly why they're wrong, then fucking go. Talk into a vacuum and talk into an echo chamber because you don't need me. You don't need other opinions and other perspectives. You already know that you're right. You already know that everything you say is fucking golden. And so you've wasted an opportunity. You've wasted an opportunity coming into somebody's stream who actually gave you the time of day because nobody fucking else will. Nobody else will. Why? Mostly because they're not as smart as me, so they're not as confident in their ability to go fucking toe-to-toe with somebody like you. Yes, I am. I'm sorry you didn't realize that, GLG, but the reality is I am actually smarter than most of the fucking people on this earth. And I do have the receipts to back it up, and I don't care how that sounds to you or anybody else because it's a fucking fact. And if you guys want to get on board and listen to somebody who knows more things than you do, you'll fucking learn something. But if you want to show up and assume that you're the smartest fucking person in the room, you're not. You're not going to learn anything. You just keep spinning your wheels and you're going to go off and go, well, that Jessie, she's obnoxious and she's an asshole and she's everything that I thought she was, and you're wrong. But you're allowed to be wrong. That's the beauty of life. You are allowed to be wrong, and nothing I say or do here was ever going to change your impression because you came in with an opinion and you came in demonstrating that you weren't willing to have that opinion changed. Now, for the rest of us, here are my two biggest problems with Obi-Wan Kenobi so far. I'll save the bombshell for last. One, the logical fallacy of Reva. The logical fallacy of people being told that we are racist if we don't like this character. Now, racism aside, because I'm not discounting the actual racists who've come out of the woodwork to be shitty to the actor. We talked about this already, though. We're over-focusing on this as a problem for this particular actress. As much as it sucks, the reality, the fucking truth, is that every actor, actress, whatever, every famous person, period, gets hate. There's a big reason why I don't feel sympathy for these people when they're like, oh my God, I got so much hatred. Yeah, it sucks to have random strangers come out of the woodwork and tell you how terrible you are for the color of your skin. That's great. But isn't it great when Ewan fucking McGregor gets on a microphone and goes to bat for you? Guess what happens when people come onto my streams and say anti-Semitic bullshit and want to say other shit towards me and want to harass me? Guess what happens to me? Even the people who claim to be my best fucking friends don't make videos defending me. Nobody goes to bat for me. Nobody gets out there and tells everyone else why people were wrong to attack me, why people were wrong to treat me that way. I deal with that bullshit on my fucking own. So excuse me, Moses, whoever I'm supposed to pronounce your goddamn name, for not feeling all this extra sympathy for you. I will let your paycheck feel sympathy for you. Because guess what? I don't get paid half of what you get paid to put up with the same bullshit that you put up with. I don't get the protection. I don't get the accolades. I don't get the interviews. So I don't fucking feel that bad proportionally. I feel the same amount bad for you that I feel for every other celebrity who gets hate from their fans, which is every single fucking one. Where's Kelly Marie Tran right now? Where's she in the media? Are we still protecting her from racism? No, because Moses Ingram is the flavor of the fucking moment, so we have to protect her. Kelly Marie Tran may be facing just as much anti-Asian hatred out in the world as she ever was in Star Wars, but nobody gives a shit anymore because she's not the flavor of the fucking moment. So it is bullshit already to focus on these narratives. One, Revenge of the Netherrealm. Everything makes us racist according to Twitter. And so one of those things now, it is racist. It makes us racist to not like Reva as a character. Why should I like her? She's a villain who wants to torture children, and she's a bad one because she's going to fail at her objective and die. So why should I like her? What reason, what possible reason is there for me to like her? She is a poorly written character. She is given an objective that she cannot possibly succeed at, so her character has no stakes. GLG, back to your point, why do we watch the prequels? It's a tragic hero's journey. Why do we watch Macbeth? Why is Othello, why are Shakespeare's tragedies so enthralling and entrancing? And I'm not saying the prequels are on par with this, but Lucas did have a handle on this sense of universality in his storytelling. He got it wrong when he added the details. He got it wrong when he tried to put all his little ideas and make them all come to life. But that universal storytelling is not, you're so full of yourself. I'm mad at you for interrupting. Dude, Atomic Punk was like, why is this woman so angry? And literally when I started talking to your point again is when I got less angry, you fucking self-entitled douchebag. You're getting no more attention on this channel, GLG. You're just here for yourself. That's clear to us, all of us now. So say whatever you want. I'm not going to harass or bog you on this or that, but you've made your intentions clear. You got your 15 minutes of fame. Congratulations. Swarm out. So, a tragic hero's journey is always worth watching because the whole point is that we know where they go. But that we're rooting for them the entire time. A good guy that we know becomes a villain is fascinating because we want to watch them be good and we want them to hold on every time we rewatch. That's why it's rewatchable value, even when we know how a story like that turns out. That's why Macbeth remains a fucking classic. Is because all the little moments, all the little mistakes. Oh, if you'd just done it differently there, if it had just been different there. That's how tragedies go. So yeah, the logical thing to do with prequels that we know exactly where the journeys of these characters are headed is to make it a fucking tragedy. Because a tragedy is the journey where we know the conclusion before we start the journey, and the whole suspense is seeing how it gets there. It's the whole adventure. Riva's character lacks any of that. This story lacks any of that, because all of the points of view, all the perspectives, all the goals, right? Anakin is a treasure to watch because he is a good guy that we know will fail at his goals. Our villains lose their teeth if we already know they don't succeed. We can't know that our villain is going to fail. So Riva's motivation could be 1,000,001 different things. Becoming the High Inquisitor, impressing Darth Vader, any of these things. But it's so locked into the one mission. The only way, the only possible chance she has at impressing Lord Vader and rising and doing all those other things she wants to do is to capture Obi-Wan Kenobi. Which she's going to fail. What did you say? Wait, whiskey and a hot tub? Hold on. Geek of the Week says, thanks for ruining my one shot at a whiskey and hot tub stream. GLG, you sucked it. Who said anything about that? We're still the poll going for what happens next. I have 22 minutes to get onto that next stream. 69% say we should hang out in my home as opposed to somewhere else. Great. So before we get back on the Kenobi rant, Atomic Punk, by the way, if you're still here, why is this chick so angry? It's kind of my thing. So if you're not into it, go somewhere else, because like it's fun for me and I enjoy yelling. That's why. So if that's a problem for you, you can fuck right off. That's okay. But you said something else. George Lucas invented Jar Jar Binks, midichlorians, and all that shit. With this, I say nothing and I tell you everything. Wrong! Wrong again! Wrong again! And this is why people like you aren't smart enough to have conversations with people like me. But it's okay. I'm not even going to try with you, Atomic Punk, because you said it right there. You're really like, George Lucas did that, and with that, I say nothing and everything. Like, you think you know it all already. So, okay, I have a fucking essay for exactly why you're wrong. I ain't gonna bother, because you'll probably be like GLG and be like, well, and stop. Before you even make your point, I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong, and then I'm gonna go. This is why it's like so frustrating and impossible to argue with people like you, because it's like, you didn't let me make my point, but now we have to go back, and now I have to address the thing you interrupted about, and then before I can finish addressing that, you're gonna interrupt about something else, and it's fucking 3 years, and I'm like, I'm never gonna make the point in the fucking first place. So I don't talk to people like you anymore. Are you really angry, or is it mostly just acting? That's a weird question, yours truly, because it's neither. Like, it's neither. Anger and I have a very interesting relationship. I don't hold on to anger. It's not something that like sticks in me. I think that's why I have a very healthy relationship. It comes and goes. I'm a very emotionally explosive person. It rises and it falls. It ebbs and it flows. When I get angry, it's fleeting. It's momentary. It comes and it something. Yeah, my emotions are hot. I fucking flare up like that. But if I let it go, if I let it fly, I don't hold on to it. I don't feel it. I don't feel angry. Does that make sense? Like, I'll get riled up, but like the act of getting riled up and yelling and screaming about it means that I'm not feeling those things. I don't actually feel riled up. I don't feel rageful. It's called passion. Thank you, Rod Navy. Yeah, I'm passionate. I'm not angry. I guess it's called that. The passion is real. The energy is real. All that. I don't put anything on for you guys that's not fucking authentically me. This is exactly how I'd be talking about it if you were sitting here. Probably you'd be like, please, Jesse, tone down a little bit. You don't need to yell in my fucking face. Like, straight up, that is a real thing. Like, I do this. This isn't like, oh, I put this on for the camera. This is like, this is how I am. And my friends are like, Jesse, chill. You're getting a high from it. Yeah, probably. I think I definitely do. I think it was good for me. I don't know. I ride my emotions. It's fun. Poll since one poll is locked. Okay, who else wants Jesse to do a whiskey and a hot tub stream to hang out with us? Press W if you agree. Okay. Well, I don't have a hot tub, but I feel like I'm just gonna do a bathtub stream now on 7 Live. So you're welcome, yours truly. Always happy to answer questions. And as you see, I don't take shit personally. You ask me whatever you want. All right. New poll. Okay. All right. Where in the house? Bathtub. Wonder what we're gonna pick, guys. I wonder how this poll is gonna go. All right, it's your final choice, and in 15 minutes we'll make it so. Are we doing a booze and bathtub stream, or are we out in the living room with the kids. No, I didn't ban geology. I think he just got sick of. Well, when he realized that he wasn't the star anymore. No, there he is. There you go. How can I get more information about Jackpot Karaoke? Excellent question, GLG. Jackpot Karaoke is a game I played exclusively on 1/7 Live. Did I cover that Kenobi rant fairly solidly? We can't. This character isn't good because she's a villain who can't possibly succeed at her motivation, so she isn't scary. That's pretty much the culmination. And so it's even more fallacious and ridiculous when they themselves have written a pointedly, objectively bad character for the studio to then get mad at us for not liking them. Because she's not a good villain. You can't be scary if we know you're going to fail. Anyway, boom. My bigger problem with Kenobi coming in the second in a bookend after 1/7 Live. Jackpot Karaoke. Okay, so 1/7 Live, that's where we're going to next. It's an awesome app. It's the place I'm streaming on more often because it's way cooler. Way cooler things happen over there. It's just better. Geek of the Week, I agree with you. Words. So, 1/7 Live works a little bit differently from here. Think of it, if you've ever played an app-based game that has you buy coins or stars or whatever, you buy a coin in the app, not like cryptocurrency or anything like that. It's literally you go to the coin store and you get 5,000 coins and you use those 5,000 coins with the $5 that you spent on them to, upgrade your towers or buy shit for your inventory or do other things in the game. Or send help to your friends, etc. 1/7 Live works kind of like one of those games, except that instead of playing a game, you're interacting with streamers. So instead of sending super chats, you pick whatever money you want to invest towards the app and you buy what's called baby coins. You buy your coins. Your coins go into your coin purse, and then your gifts. The Nemesis, on the contrary, there has been very little gayness in Star Wars to the chagrin of the gay community, apparently. But so I think that criticism is probably not accurate. However, if you don't think Star Wars is good, that's fine. That's your opinion. Anyhoozle. Where were we? PTW microtransactions. Sure, we'll call them in-app purchases. That's words that make sense to me. So essentially, in-app purchases is how this thing works. So you put your money towards the coins so that you can make in-app purchases. And those purchases, instead of super chats, are little gifts. They're animations. There's all different kinds of animations. There's gifts that range from very small ones, the equivalents of only a couple cents, to ones that are very, very large, the equivalent of many dollars. Although it all scales out, what you will get, $50 to a lot fucking other on 1/7 Live than it'll get you on YouTube. $50 will get you $50 with the super chats. $50 on 1/7 Live will get you a few thousand baby coins, over 15,000 baby coins, I believe, which you can then use to help your streamers win events where they can actually win prizes. You yourself get to participate in these events, and you can win coins from them. You can win digital prizes from them. You can get comment frames, badges, animations, all this stuff. So there's actually shit in this for you over on 1/7 Live. It's not just all about me. You can level up your gifts. So say the building is really cool, and you start the building and you get this tofu that's the mascot on the app, right? So you got a little baby tofu, and he's just sitting there with the blueprints, and then you level that one up with another tofu, and they're breaking ground, and you level that one up, and you got the structure of your house. And leveling up means sending a exponentially larger amount of these houses each time, but it's a fun little sort of metric that you can work on in the app. Then I'm gay and I don't care about gayness in Star Wars. Good for you, GLG. I'm with you on the identity stuff. I don't care if my identity personally is represented or not in my media. I just care if I like it or not. And so, like I said, I don't care that you like Kenobi. I'm actually very happy for you that you're able to enjoy Obi-Wan. That's what I say about people who like it and I don't. I'm very, very happy that you are the type of person that's able to watch the show and enjoy it and derive that enjoyment out of it. I'm very sad and disappointed that I don't get to derive this kind of enjoyment out of my Star Wars properties. But I'm also not going to lie to myself or fake it. I do like all sorts of things that I would consider trash. Star Wars is something that is very personal and special to me for a lot of reasons. And if you took the time to ask, you might find out about that and find out why it is important to me to actually talk about it on this level. But anywho, I digress. Music doesn't sound like Star Wars. No, this music is all copyright royalty free. Anyway, gifts, 1/7 Live. So the jackpots, GLG, to get back to your original point. The jackpots are surprise bags. Surprise bags are a thing on the app. There's some that you can access all of the time, and there are some that are part of the events that happen. And a surprise bag, just like it sounds, it's like playing. It's like rolling the dice, basically. Or really you know, a slot machine essentially, because it may pay out less than what you put in. Let's say you get a gift, you send me a gift that's 1,500 coins, or costs you 1,500 coins. It's kind of equivalent like a buck or two. So you send me a gift that costs 1,500 coins, but it's a bag, right? That bag may pay out 1,500, may pay out 1,200, may only pay out 300, but it may pay out 30,000. You may spend 1,500 coins and it pays out to the streamer 30,000. Big jackpot, fancy jackpot animation. I get happy, you get happy, everyone gets happy. And streamers do things like we'll sometimes have rewards for high gifters. On my channel, you get a special gem. Anybody who gives over 10,000 coins in a single channel gets a personalized gem. They get their name on it, and then when you come back, you don't have to give anything at all, just the rewards gifts, which you get for free. By the way, just like the apps that have like, you get a reward for checking in, you get a reward for watching this many minutes of streaming, you get a reward for leaving comments this many times. Those are little like free super chats you get to give to your streamers. So if you do over 10,000 coins in a stream, you get your personalized gem. You come back, send me your free check-in gift, and your little gem goes up on display here. The 10-pack cat leaderboard. We have snacks on the app. Every 5 minutes, your snack button refreshes. It's next to your gift box. You push that button, it sends me a snack. After the 6th time, it sends a 10-pack snack. All those snacks go into my bank. When I cash in enough of those, I rank up. My achievement score goes up every time I start streaming. That's like improving my status in the algorithm every time I start streaming. We have a 10-pack cat leaderboard now. I have 4 adorable cats. When you send me your 10-pack cat, you can pick which one, or I go for the neediest one. Your name gets put on the leaderboard. After the week, the cat who is winning the leaderboard will get a special picture posted on 17 Live. So we got all sorts of fun stuff like that. We do comfy bitches, where your coins, you can choose what the next movie we watch. The highest donator gets a special message. We bring back Walk of Shame, where you name the challenge, I name the price. As soon as we accrue that many coins, I do whatever ridiculous thing you've asked me to do. Goddamn Geek of the Week. Well, that's gonna make what comes next really special, man. Let me catch up on these supers here. We got one from Liver Cirrhosis. I drink, therefore I am. Patron saint of mindless entertainment, guys. Can you imagine what the show could have been if they had focused on what Obi-Wan had to do to keep Luke safe? Right? Simultaneously taking a deep dive into all the twisted things that the Emperor did to twist Vader even further. That's the show I wanted. I don't need Obi-Wan and Vader to meet. You can have a show where we follow both of their, I mean, they do this stupid parallel in the back to tanks where they're force connected and shit. Why not have that be the strongest connection we ever see in the whole show? They don't need to see each other. They don't meet and confront again. We know pointedly, canonically, they don't meet between 3 and 4. They don't. And it's better that way. It's stronger. It's more powerful that way. So why not just have this link of emotions that passes back and forth sometimes, that could still drive Darth Vader wanting to hunt for him? That certainly could still be a plot point, but he shouldn't find him. They shouldn't, meet. That shouldn't be a thing. It should be, I mean, the moments that we were giving Obi-Wan initially, sacrificing these Jedi, letting Jedi die, not doing it to protect people, because really the reason they give is because he's force impotent, because he's over the Jedi. The Jedi need to die. The same bullshit rhetoric we heard out of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, rather than him being in a position to turn down helping people because it exposes him and Luke, which is the stronger motivation, which they should be leaning into. And that's an interesting story. I agree with you 100%. I drink, therefore I am. 100%. Whiskey for hot tub and Star Wars fun. You got it, dude. Ooh, portentous. Southern Comfort is technically whiskey, and it did jump off the refrigerator the other day. The bottle didn't break, but I think it was coming down to go, Jesse, you want to drink this in the bathtub? Let's check on that poll. Let's check on this poll, because it's 4:50. I do need to start that other stream by 5 o'clock or later. Wow, 76% of you think we should do this in the bathtub. So it's pretty overwhelming. Jesse, did you have a question about your sister? My wife should ask her mother to... should ask mother to stay with Michelle and Rose during the day while I'm at work. It would ease my fears. Have there been any issues at home? Have there been any like health issues or scares or worries? Because I definitely understand, especially with a new baby and that anxiety about being away. But if there haven't been any specific fears, you also want to make sure you're giving Michelle her space a little bit too. It's definitely, she loves, all the support and care that she's getting, but it's also important that she feels like you guys trust and believe in her to, be a mom and take care of Rose and all that stuff. So, so if there's been anything going on health-wise or things where you're concerned for them and you want to be able to make sure someone's watching over them, then it's worth talking about and considering. But if you're just having a lot of those fears and anxieties yourself, maybe work out a system of checking in during the day so that you know that everything's good and copacetic and going on. well, but that, you know, Rose also, or Michelle also feels like she has, you know, that trust and independence as well. But that's you know, that's going to be between, I don't know everything that's going on between you guys. So, that's between the two of you. All right, whiskey for hot tub and Star Wars fun. Woo! Thank you, Geek of the Week. Very first people chat. I so appreciate you. All right, so here's my last bombshell about Kenobi before we switch over and make this a hot tub stream. So, oh, and then I can go to non-copyrighted, or I can go to copyrighted music too. Words. Oh, Ice Cube's son. Ice Cube's son is in this show. Why is that a problem? You guys probably don't know why this is a really, really damning evidence. This is incredibly damning evidence of Disney's fucking hypocrisy. So Disney cares so much about the Jews, right? So much that when it perceived that I keep saying, what did he say, Cara Dune? You guys know what I'm talking about. Gina Carano. When they perceived that Gina Carano's post was anti-Semitic, which I don't believe it was, they fired her, canceled her, made her, eradicated her from their history, etc. But they had no problem casting the son of a known and unrepentant anti-Semite. Now, I don't know what the son's opinions are, and I'm not saying he should be held accountable for the sins of his father. And I personally don't care when it comes to that stuff, but you've demonstrated to me, Disney, that you care. You care so much that for a perceived slight, you were willing to fucking salt and burn the earth under Gina Carano's feet over a perceived slight against my people. So when I don't have the evidence one way or the other to suggest that Ice Cube's son feels any differently than his father does about my people, why have you gone and put him in the show without giving me those assurances? Why haven't you made me feel safe and secure in your casting choices in those ways? Now, in my perfect universe, I don't give a shit what either of those people do or have said online. They've been cast for their talent, they've been cast for their acting ability. That's fine. But Disney decided they gave a shit. They fired somebody over grounds that I find are faulty, and I really don't appreciate my people being used as a justification, or protecting my people, which you're not fucking doing, being used as a justification to hurt other people. When you turn around and do things of equal weight, this is equal. A perceived slight with no substantiation is equal as a direct familial relation to an unrepentant anti-Semite. And based on Disney's own practices, they have made those types of statements. They have made judgments that you are guilty by association. Well, that's their opinion, Atomic Punk. I hope it isn't fucking yours, otherwise you and I are going to have a problem. But that's the thing is, white Jews just don't matter. That's the whole thing. White people just don't matter. If that's your honest opinion, then you clearly don't understand what Judaism is, and you should probably fuck off before we have a problem. Because I have a serious problem with that statement. I'm actually going to get rid of it, because whether or not, no, get rid of it. I just want to delete that comment. I just want to delete that comment. I just don't want that comment sitting in my chat. I really don't. Come on. Where did it go? Did someone else delete it already? No. Come on. It's a fucking comment on my chat. Why aren't you updating over here? Because YouTube is anti-Semitic, so it won't let me delete the anti-Semitism. Why isn't it uploading over here so I can delete this stupid fucking comment? Not cool. I don't want to put you in timeout, but I do want to get rid of your fucking comment. If there's a mod in the chat, can they just delete that comment? It's like it's not showing up. There we go. Thank you, Angelos. You're the best. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you. Don't use my people as a justification to do anything shitty, ever, at all. Because guess what? You didn't fucking ask me. If you gotta go speak for the Jews, so do I. I gotta speak for them just as much as y'all do. And so, as another Jew does. So, I don't appreciate anyone fucking speaking for me or my people. Especially not if they're gonna use it as a justification to hate or hurt people. and then fucking turn around and show that it does not matter to them in any regard whatsoever. I mean, then I would just talk to her. I would just talk to her and basically see between the two of you guys, like what her needs are. Does she feel that she needs that? Maybe it's only for a few hours at a time. Maybe there's specific hours during the day where she comes over, like special, a couple of babysitting hours basically to give her that time off. That would be my suggestion. All right, 4:57. I gotta get live on 17 Live because I scheduled. Do. All right. So I'm gonna post the link in the chat. But we're otherwise just gonna go live over there. One more time. Here's the link for 17 Live. Go on, download, follow me, m.e.godempress. m.e.godempress. Come on over there where I will be putting on a swimsuit and getting in the bathtub because y'all said so. 73% of you said so. So, did you lock Jeff in the basement? Nah, he's just in the office. I'm sure he'll come out at some point for the bathtub stream. So it's 4:58. Got to get this shit rocking and rolling. All right, so go over there. Join me on 17 Live, and until like 5 seconds from now, kind of press out.